Greetings, everyone. This is Mustafa, your digital marketing specialist, the founder of the Digital Domination Tribe, coming back at you with another hot video of inspiration, guidance, and some actionable steps to help you in your journey across the digital landscape and in your journey as a digital creator. So, on this message, it came about, I was just thinking about my history a little bit, how 5 years ago, I embarked on a journey to start creating YouTube videos and podcasting. I had the mind that this was something that I wanted to do and needed to do to build a brand, but between that thought and actually hitting play, record, and doing it was a hard journey. It was a lot before I was able to comfortably do what I'm doing today now, where it seems like, I don't even flinch. But this wasn't always the case. I think somewhere I have some of that footage of me recording in those early days and how camera shy I was and how I would have my hiccups and stop and, I wasn't as polished and I didn't flow. I think I had those clips somewhere. I may put them together and just put it out there on this page, just so you can see that everyone has a beginning, and I definitely had a beginning where I just didn't have it. So the subject matter for this particular video, I just want to kind of talk to that reality that there may be creators out there right now who may be where I was, who may read how, I'm wearing a shirt right now that says content is king, and content is king. And among content, video is the king of that content, which is king. If you follow that drift, if that makes sense to you. Well, we have video centric platforms like Instagram and TikTok, and now even legacy platforms like Facebook are incorporating Reels, which is short form video, and Instagram has Reels, and YouTube has their Shorts, and this micro content is really becoming a thing. But video centric content is a big thing, and it will become a bigger thing. So at some point, if you are a digital marketer, a content creator, content marketer, or someone that's trying to navigate among the digital landscape, whether you are a small business, you're an entrepreneur, you are nonprofit, if I didn't say that already, at some point you're gonna have to get on video. Now, I did another video prior to this where I talked about creating a faceless um, video platform, a faceless personal brand, and you still can do that. But at some point there may be an opportunity where you may have to put your face out there like this and speak your piece and speak your subject and speak your expertise. You may have to actually get behind camera. And for some people, this is a daunting thought and endeavor to think that, oh my God, I'm gonna have to get before a video recorder and hit play, hit record, and people can see me and I'm trying to talk and not trip over my words and making sure my sentence align and make sure my points are flowing from one to the other and I'm making sense and people are hearing me loud and clear. That can be an intimidating endeavor, because it was an intimidating endeavor for me 5 years ago. I would sit up and I would get myself together, shave and put my lotion on and put a nice shirt on and kind of come up with a script in my mind of what I wanted to talk about. And then I would kind of drag my feet with it before I would hit record, because it's just that fear factor. And, eventually I would mentally talk myself into it like, okay, I'm just going to hit record and just start talking. And sometimes I would get the nerve to do that, and then within a few seconds I would lose my nerve, so I would turn the recording back off. And those that in my family who saw those early journeys, they would kind of laugh and just kind of like, wow, this is real. This guy is going through it where he can hit he I got enough confidence to at least hit the record, but I couldn't last nothing but a few seconds after that before I had to just hit that stop button, because it's just so nerve wracking and so intimidating of an experience. But I just kept doing it, and eventually I got good, and I'm doing it now very, very well. I'm not flinching, I'm not tripping over my words, my points are flowing one to the other. And if I didn't tell you, you may not believe that, I struggled with this at one time. But for those that may be struggling with this right now, you may be kind of camera shy. Um, Taking the point from my earlier video, I talked about creating a faceless YouTube account, or a faceless, reels and shorts and video content like that. That may be very good for you right now, because just getting comfortable recording may be a milestone and an achievement for you. So if getting before this camera, and it could be intimidating, because you're looking at yourself in the camera. That's I think that adds to the intimidation, and sometimes we can be self-conscious and we can see things that others may not see. So while you're recording, you may see some of your what you may consider your facial imperfections. You may notice a pimple, you may notice a blackhead, you may notice a mark, you may notice your forehead size, you may notice your nose, your lips, your ears. You may, while you're trying to give the message, you may be analyzing yourself. Damn, look at that right there. Wow, look at that. I don't like the way that look. I don't like the way my nose is shaped. I don't like, some people don't like the sound of their voice. I used to struggle with that, because I always thought that I sounded pretty decent or cool. And then when I would record back in the day, answer machines, I would record my voice mail for my answer machine, and I would play it back and listen to myself, and I thought I sounded awful. And I was like, that don't even sound like me, but it was me. And as I lived a little bit more, that a lot of people have that common experiences where the way we hear ourselves in everyday conversation and way our voice sound on, say, an answer machine, it can be totally different. And so, hearing yourself talk on video, that can sometimes be an intimidating factor. Seeing your face can be an intimidating factor, where you're judging yourself very harshly. So those two things can psych you out of getting on front of the camera and doing a message. And to that, that's just gonna take some positive self-talk. You got to really talk that down and become secure with who you are. Unless you can't change your face. In this instance of recording this video, you can't necessarily change your voice. You can sound a little deeper, you can sound a little lower, you can modulate your voice, but your voice is what it is, your face is what it is. So it's going to take some positive self-talk for you to get over those, if those are the humps, to hold you back from recording. But back to what I was saying, as a baby step, is maybe you go faceless, where you can record and turn the camera off, where it just picks up your sound. Or you can do this on your smartphone. There's a voice note option. It might be on your I'm sure it's on your laptop. Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me just look for it. Yeah, it's on here too. Cool. I have a new laptop. I didn't know if this had everything on it. But there's a voice memo on your MacBook. There's a voice memo on your iPhone. I assume the same thing is on Androids. I haven't used an Android in over 10 years, but I assume on Android there's a voice note recorder as well. And what you can do, family, is just hit record on your phone or hit record on your computer and just start speaking a normal subject that you would talk on video, and let your voice flow and let your words get out, and let that be practice for you. as you start, just get comfortable speaking. And that will allow you to speak and get comfortable without focusing on your face, without seeing yourself in the camera and maybe judging yourself harshly. You're just talking. And then you can record that and publish that as a podcast episode. And therefore, people have your voice, but you don't have the fear factor about your face and people seeing you and you seeing yourself and wondering if they're seeing what you see of your so-called imperfections. So that's one thing that you can do as a baby step to getting to this level is just record audio. Just record your voice. Just get comfortable. And when you record it, play it back. And just get comfortable listening to your voice. Get comfortable hearing how you sound. And then you can critique yourself. Not too hard, but you can critique yourself. Where you can say that I could have said that better. I need to slow down a little bit. Maybe you're so nervous in doing it or uncomfortable that you're just really fast pacing it. Well, maybe you can just slow down and find a rhythm and being cool with it as you speak and explain your points. That's something that you can do this week. Just start recording the audio. Hit the voice notes or the equivalent on your Android or on your computer and just start using your voice, recording your voice. And then once you get comfortable in that in a week or two or more if needed, no rush, make sure you're straight. Once you get comfortable with that, then you can start taking some baby steps. You can take out your laptop or your smartphone and just sit in your car. If you got your smartphone, just sit in your car and just record 30 seconds to a minute. And these are things that's not going to be published. Unless you want to. Unless you really think you did well and you want to publish it. Go ahead. But these are not things that's primarily meant to be published. This is just practice. This is just you now going from getting comfortable with the sound of your voice, getting comfortable giving a message for 5 or 10 minutes, however long you record, to now you giving a message, but there's video involved. There's picture involved. There's you involved. You seeing yourself and other people potentially seeing you. So sit in your car. Sit on a bench at a park. If you walk around a track for exercise, just take your camera out and just record for a few seconds here and there. And just, it don't have to be a subject. Just start talking. If you're walking around the track, just talk about, hey, I'm walking around this track for 45 minutes to an hour. I do this because, it helps me stay in shape. It helps, keep my blood flowing, makes me feel positive about myself. I know it's helping me burn off calories. It's just relaxing. I like to be in nature. I like to be in the sun. You could talk that up for 30 seconds to a minute just while you walking. Just talk about your journey walking. Or just talk about your week. Just find something to talk about while you're walking and talking and you're recording yourself. And this is taking off the charge and the fear and the uncomfortableness of speaking on camera. And if you're in your car, of course, while you're parked, don't do this while you're driving, okay? Some people do driving videos, but, I prefer, while you're parked, and you can set your camera up, and you can just hit it for 30 seconds to a minute, and just start recording yourself talking about random topics. Because, again, this is not stuff you're going to necessarily publish. This is just for practice. And what this is doing, fam, is the more you do something, the more comfortable you become with it, and the less charge that it has in affecting you. And you want to do this for 30 seconds to a minute, because that may be all you can do. But you do this a few times a week or every 5 times a week, and I guarantee you, the more you do it, the more unnerving it's going to become. And then you go from 30 seconds to a minute to maybe 2 minutes now, 3 minutes now, 5 minutes now. You're comfortable. You see, we're taking baby steps here. You're comfortable now. And then, after you do this for another week or two, you may say, you know what? this video recording ain't too bad. I think I want to give a message. Now, this step, it can be either for publish or it can be just further practice. But I want you to think about something that you're interested in, something that is your niche or niche, your expertise, your background, your industry, and I want you to talk on it for 5 minutes. 10 minutes would be ideal, but talk on it for at least 5 minutes, up to 10 minutes. And just look in the camera, look in your own eyes, pause, and just look at yourself. Listen to the sound of your voice and compare where you are now to where you were 2 to 4 weeks ago of practicing this strategy of getting first used to listen to your voice through just recording audio and then just taking 30 seconds to minute videos recording yourself walking at the park, in your car, in your living room, in your bedroom, in your bed, wherever, just recording. But now you're going to do 5 to 10 minutes with the intention I'm going to speak on a specific subject. So, if you're into hair and beauty, health and beauty, then you're going to talk on health and beauty for 5 minutes to 10 minutes. If you're into exercise, health, and wellness, you're going to talk about exercise, health, and wellness for 5 to 10 minutes. If you're into marketing or business, you're going to talk about marketing and business for 5 to 10 minutes. If you're into relationships or spiritual values or, money, 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to talk about this. Because you're going to find at this point that a lot of that charge is either totally gone or is less inhibiting for yourself. And you're just flowing just like I am. You're just flowing 5-10 minutes, and you're gonna notice as you get more comfortable that 5 and 10 minutes gonna flow by like seconds. You're gonna look at the time. Wait a minute. I spoke for 5 minutes already. I spoke for 10 minutes already. I spoke for 30 minutes already. That time gonna fly because see, you're not gonna be self-conscious. You're not gonna be worried. You're just gonna be in the moment of just talking. And therefore you're not going to be counting the seconds or the minutes, and time gonna fly. I guarantee you time is gonna fly. I almost been talking 20 minutes and it seemed like I just started. But those are things that I want you to start doing this week. Start with the baby step of just doing the audio. Then we're going to graduate to recording 30-second to a minute clips, and then we're going to go to a specified step where you're going to do 5 minutes to 10 minutes speaking on a particular subject. All practice, no pressure. You don't have to publish any of this stuff because this is what I did. I have so many unpublished videos from 5 years ago and clips because I was just practicing. And that's what I want you to do is just practice. And every time you practice, go back and listen to it. And as I said, judge yourself, but don't judge yourself harshly. Give yourself constructive criticism where you really look at where I wasn't focused on the camera. I was looking to the side. I was looking here. I was looking down, talking. Yeah, and on this subject, what I want to talk about, because I couldn't look at myself. Just constructively critique yourself to see where you can do better and make a plan to do better. And know that every time can be better than the last. And where you are now in 2 weeks to a month is not necessarily where you will be. You will get better. You will improve. You will, at a certain point in the very near future, you will look back like me and you'll be maybe doing a video like this saying, 3 years ago, I never would imagine that I would be out recording a video this comfortable and this confident. But I listened to this bald head guy named Mustafa, your digital marketing specialist, 3 years ago, and he broke down his experience and gave his testimony, and he gave me a few actionable steps, and I followed what he did, and now here I am. I'm recording 100 YouTube videos now. I'm sitting on 200 YouTube videos. I go live a couple times a week, and I don't flinch, not one time, because, he showed me the way. So, family, take those baby steps. Start with the first step. Just start recording the audio, then record some 30-second to a minute video, then record a 5 to 10 minute longer form video. And once you feel comfortable with graduating from step to step to step, and that 5 to 10 minute video is cool with you, and if you need to do it again, another 5 to 10 minute video, do that until it becomes very, very comfortable for you. And then once you get content that you feel comfortable, that it looks good, it sounds good, you were on point, your confidence was on point, you was looking comfortably at the camera without looking nervous or anything like that, then I want you to publish one of those videos. That's the last step. I want you to go ahead and publish one of those videos. Once you get to your best of your best, go ahead and publish it. It doesn't have to be perfect, because well done is better than perfect. So just get the best of the best and publish that video. Publish it on your social media. Publish on YouTube. Publish on LinkedIn if you're on there. Publish it on TikTok if you're on there. Publish it on Instagram if you're on there. Publish it on shorts. Make smaller clips of it and make shorts and reels of it, and just share it. And you're going to find out that in 99.999% of the cases, most people want to see you win anyway. They're not going to judge you harshly, even if you did make a mistake, even if this wasn't your best video, even if you didn't have the most confidence on the video. Most people are not going to critique you. They're not going to be buttholes in the comments. That 1% people may, but that's so small and minute of the whole that it don't even matter. And in me doing this in 5 years, I've never had a negative person in the comments, even when I was at my crawling stages, and I know I wasn't showing up my absolute best, but I never received any negative critiques. So have confidence that 99.99999% of people want to see you win. They're not going to judge you harshly, and even if they do, they're not going to express it, and even if they do, you're never going to hear it. So their opinion doesn't have to become your reality. Their opinion should not take space in your mind. Your goal is to record videos. Your goal is to put your message out. Your goal is to represent your personal brand. Your goal is to inspire people and to instruct people and to share with people the best of what you have received. So this is Mustafa, your digital marketing specialist, closing out another video. I really hope that this video did well for you, and if you're kind of camera shy and just kind of feel like video is not for you, that this may be that video that kind of pushes you over the edge and inspires you to go out there and record video, because video is not going anywhere. This is a powerful medium, and if content is king, video is the king of that content. So the better you get with video, the more comfortable you get with video, then that creates more content you can create that can push you forward and be seen by more eyeballs and push forward your personal brand, your business, your product, your service, or etc., etc., etc. So this is Mustafa, your digital marketing specialist. Check me out at digitalmarketingwithmustafa.com. That's digitalmarketingwithmustafa.com. That is my one-stop shop video that will allow you to connect with my blog, to read writings from me, that will allow you to connect with my podcast if you prefer to hear me, that will connect you with my YouTube channel if you prefer to watch me and hear me as well. You can check out my videos. I have a few digital products that you can download for free, which is for your education. I have a digital book, Building Your Brand and Information Empire with Content. So I have a cheat sheet for AI prompt engineering. You can download that. I have other PDFs and things that you can get and take hold of. I have a lot of content and resource. I mean, hours of video and audio you can just really feed from, like this video or this podcast if you're listening to it, and just really take your digital game to another level and really dominate on these digital platforms. So I definitely wanted to ask you to take advantage of that. Also download my workbook, the Digital Domination Starter Guide, which should be published very, very soon, or depending on when you hear this, it is published. But that is the intro to the Digital Domination Tribe, which is my educational platform, part of my digital marketing endeavors. And this starter guide will introduce you to the principles of the digital domination tribe, some of the strategies of the digital domination tribe, how you need to show up as a digital creator, our manifestos, some tools, some strategies, some tips, things you can do to really get started or take your digital journey to the next level. I would definitely like for you to download that and get that piece of information, okay? So this is my last goodbye. This is for real. I'm gone. Oh, one more thing. I'm sorry. I'm also available for consulting. If you like what you hear on this and you want to talk to me on a one-on-one basis, go to digitalmarketingwithmustafa.com and sign up for my consulting package. There is a fee for that, but it'll be worth it. You can talk to me one-on-one, and I can listen to you and advise you, and we can come up with a strategy together, and we can really push you to the next level with your digital journey on the digital landscape. All right, so this is my last goodbye. See you next time. Peace.